My name is Sigríður Ósk Bjarnadóttir. I'm always called Sirri. I am the Director of Sustainability and Quality at Hornsteinn. I have been working in sustainability and climate change within the built environment since 2008. I wrote my PhD dissertation on the climatic adaptation of buildings and the effects essentially climate change is having on how we design and build buildings. I moved back home to Iceland in 2018, where I essentially built up sustainability consulting within one of Iceland's main engineering consulting firms. And then I made the switch over to Hornsteinn now in 2022. So yeah, I've been working with climate change in the built environment for the past 15 years, something like that. But today we are going to talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. In 2015, the United Nations identified the most pressing issues in the world today. And they issued the Sustainable Development Goals as a roadmap to achieve certain improvements in the coming years. So the goals essentially are supposed to aid the entire world in tackling massive issues like poverty, hunger, and climate change. So today we're going to go a little bit through these goals. The goals call on every nation, every country to participate, leaving no one behind. And they are really a massive roadmap for us to try to make sure that we are producing a world that's more sustainable and that's just better for humans around the planet. All right, so now let's talk a little bit more about the goals themselves. We have 17 social development goals. So I just want to highlight a few of them, kind of talk a little bit about what they mean, and kind of maybe put them into more of an Icelandic context if I can. First off, we have goal number 4, which is quality education. This essentially means that we want to ensure that everybody has access to the same education. We're trying to make sure that we are educating everyone. Everybody who wants to be educated can be educated in whatever form or way they choose. Again, this should not be for a specific class. This should be accessible for everyone. The second goal maybe I want to talk a little bit about is goal number 5. This is gender equality. In Iceland, there has been a huge push towards gender equality in terms of income, and also gender equality in terms of job opportunities. And we really have seen a huge influx. Again, this also kind of ties a little bit towards the education equality. A few years ago, they wanted more women towards the technical fields. So there was really a push in the lower level or elementary school system to give a better presentation of what these educational pathways are and what could they potentially lead to. And this increased focus on trying to attract women into these technical educational fields really led to seeing more women in technical fields in the workforce. So a huge push towards both equality in the educational system, but also this gender equality out in the workforce. Another one that I tend to see a lot about would be goal number 12. This is responsible consumption and production. This essentially ties into the fact that we should be consuming and producing what we need. We should not be producing more than we need at a given time, and we should also not be consuming more than we need at another time. This really ties into the circular economy, making sure that we are preserving resources where we don't need them. We are trying to eliminate waste. And I think this is going to be more and more important when we talk about sustainability within every single sector, is looking towards more circular business models. Is there a way we can look at the model of our own business and try to eliminate waste and also eliminate the need for resources? Goal 13. Now this is climate action. Here, this is a call towards individuals, companies, communities, nations to really look at their actions and try to limit their impact on the global climate. So what can you do to reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases? In some countries, we are seeing what we call a carbon tax. So in very carbon intense industries, now coming from the concrete sector, I can talk about the fact that cement has a huge carbon footprint. We're talking 5 to 8% of global carbon emissions are attributed to concrete or cement production. So what's happening in these countries where we're actually producing cement is they're seeing a huge new carbon tax. So this carbon intensive industry is getting taxed for the fact that it is for the fact that it's emitting so much carbon. So what are you having to do? You're having to go and really invest in innovation, trying to figure out new technology that can really reduce the amount of carbon you are emitting. And we can see this also in our daily lives. In Iceland, there's been a big push towards moving from diesel or gasoline vehicles to electric vehicles. Again, here we are really trying to figure out a way that the individual can reduce its own carbon emissions. Another goal that we can tie to Iceland would be Sustainable Development Goal 14. This is life below water. This goal is essentially tied to how do we preserve our marine environments and how do we promote a sustainable marine ecosystem or marine environment? And for an island nation like Iceland, where we do rely heavily on our fishing and our fish population, this is a very vital goal to the future of our own economic development. And then I guess we can kind of look at Goal 17. This is an umbrella kind of goal that really tries to enhance partnerships, make sure that people are working together to try to reach the other goals.